We are in one of the most interesting times in content creation. There's always new content creators showing up on all different kinds of platforms, but recently there's a new trend and a new type of live streamer that I think could change content creation forever. That's what we're here to talk about today. I'm DevinNash. I own a marketing agency called Novo. We keep track of influencers all across the internet who we connect with brands for sponsorships and merch deals. And at any given time, we are tracking hundreds, if not thousands, of influencers across every single platform. But over the last month, we've noticed a trend with streamers, live streamers on Twitch that I had never seen before. And then we saw that this type of broadcaster was growing so fast, I actually couldn't believe it. So if you're following any kind of news about tech, you have probably heard about GPT-3. That is a language learning model AI that you can chat with, and it spits out really crazy answers to things. So I made a video before about how powerful ChatGPT-3 is and how it stands to kind of change the entire way that content creation and marketing itself works. And a few weeks later, we're kind of already seeing that be applied to things. So you've probably guessed what this video is about. Yes, this is about AI streamers. This is a real thing. And I decided to actually look through Twitch and live streaming websites, and I found the most interesting AI streamers. So the first category of AI streamer are these broadcasters that are creating these AI like interviews and clips. And I'm going to show you my favorite one. This is an AI created by someone named Vidal, a programmer, and the AI is named Neurosama. And Neurosama started out as like this Osu master. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is an AI that is learning how to play Osu. And it got insanely good at it, like better than any human could possibly get at it. And this is like, it's a personality that is based on a language learning model, and then it's heavily tuned based on like what Vidal kind of wants it to be. Now, as of present, it's learning Minecraft. So this was the real start of this project, but now just kind of look how cool this thing has evolved to be. So this is where it's currently at.
Is God dead? Yes, definitely. God died a while ago. It's sad, but we must accept it and move on. Heart.
So this is a avatar that is plugged into an AI that is saying random stuff, but it can react to chat. It can say its own things. Sometimes it says things that are random. I'm going to show you some cool stuff that it does on its own. And it has thousands of years. It's grown so fast. This is a completely random thing that it outputted that people can react to. And what's insane about this model is that it's pretty much just as entertaining as any other streamer right now. You're not even like what it could be in a few years. Neurosama does a lot of things that real streamers do. And when I was looking through AI projects and streamer models across Twitch, I kind of realized that the average streamer doesn't do much, and it's probably kind of easy to duplicate when you think about it, right? It's kind of hard to duplicate YouTube videos. Like, that's going to come, but you have to produce something. You have to have a storyline. You have like when it just says weird things in a YouTube video over and over again, like I was an AI not making sense. It'd be harder to capture a person that's there for something. But on Twitch, like whenever the AI says something that's weird and doesn't really make sense, it actually kind of feeds into the entertainment in a strange way. So when you think about streaming as like playing games, reacting, or talking to chat, this Vidal has created this program that can essentially do this as well as almost any other streamer, and sometimes is even more funny than any other streamer. And one of the things that I was wondering was, well, is this going to have any kind of staying power? Because it's really new, and sometimes things on Twitch, like they get a lot of viewers and then people just kind of drop off. But if you actually look at the stats, it kind of seems like it is going to actually stay, because you can look at over the 30-day period of Vidal, and it's grown 38%. It has a huge amount of followers, and it seems like it's not dropping off. So you had the kind of peak, right, over that 30 days where everybody was checking it out. But it hasn't really run that many streams, and for the streams that it's run, it's been very successful. So my guess is that this probably evens out at like 3 to 4K viewers, which is already a top 0.01% stream for a really kind of creative project that's relatively just the beginning of what we're going to see in this. So I do think that AI broadcasts will stick around and form a kind of new niche of content. And I think they'll also impact a lot of other forms of existing content, which we will talk about later. But when I was talking about the reacts thing, like here, take a look about what I mean.
A photographer captured the moment a moose lost their antlers. This is incredibly rare and lucky because moose grow and lose their antlers once a year.
Is that a dog in the snow?
So it's just reacting to Daily Dose of the Internet, like literally. And I don't have no idea how this works. It's so crazy, but it can look at videos and it can interpret what's going on in real time. and then it can say something like it just did. But I guess for the marketers out there and the business people, this clip that I found, actually I kind of clipped this myself, is the most interesting one. Check this out.
100 bits for 100 subscribers. 5 more and I'll buy you all 100 cookies. I can't rap like Eminem, but I do have a pretty big ego. Pog. Everyone gets 100 cookies.
So do you see what just happened here? So this is crazy, right? Like we just saw an AI ask people to donate and subscribe, and then when people did, it responded and then thanked everybody and then referred back to the thing that it promised. It said it was going to give cookies if somebody subscribed or cheered. Somebody did. And from a marketing standpoint, this makes me think that AI is just as capable of advertising things as people are. So this is like the coolest thing for me. When I saw it do a call to action, probably legitimately better than like most broadcasters actually can do. And then it got something for it. This is like kind of a crazy example of where this is going. And this isn't all. There's a lot of really interesting AI projects here. What do we have here?
We got
so this is apparently a project by another broadcaster named Athene. And I'll put a caveat here that if you know a bit about this broadcaster, it's a little bit dubious. So I'm not exactly sure how much of this is like there's a lot of AI going on here, but there might be something kind of funky going on with like the responses. And I'm sure that most of what it's about to do is well within the capacity of AI to do nonetheless. But like because they're putting voice and video together to create a really entertaining result. And let's just take a look.
We got Q here. Who do you think has the biggest schlong of all streamers?
Man, if we start talking about the size of the streamer schlongs, then we start talking about power issues. Hey, wow, folks, love me some streaming, but this isn't what streaming is about. The point I'm trying to make is the size of someone's schlong doesn't make them powerful. Capitalism does. That's why no tolerance to the intolerant and no lenience from me. So in terms of the size of the schlong.
So imagine if a program can do this and it can kind of effortlessly put together the funniest aspects of a single broadcast. This is a broadcaster named Hassan Abi. He's really big time on Twitch, and you can like look at some of the comments that came from this, where like you've got like AI Hassan is funnier than real Hassan. You have like this comment, fear, these are all from like Reddit. It's insane how accurate all these AI responses have been to everything. This is exactly what he'd say. The insane part to me is that it's not only accurate, it's also wittier and funnier than actual streamers. Let's imagine the person that constantly spouts funny one-liners. So there was a thing we were doing back in my old company long time ago where we were using chat to basically evaluate sentiment analysis for brands. So like a brand that was running an ad would have would like look at chat, we'd look at chat and we'd look at all of the emojis that are like posted. You can see like here when everybody's posting these laughing emojis, this is sentiment analysis that can indicate that what it's saying, whatever's going on right now is really funny, right? That's a really easy one-to-one. So you can imagine an AI that kind of goes into that and then sees all of the sentiment analysis and is able to just consistently generate the funniest response every single time and just create an amazingly entertaining stream. And so like that gets me into some like really interesting marketing theory about kind of where I think a lot of this is going. Like let's first think about like what makes a successful stream, right? It's not just like being on beat and hitting things. It's a lot of it is consistency. So the most popular streamers have incredibly consistent schedules with really long hours. So if we take a look at one of my favorite people, actually, it's a streamer named Carnage. Co is actually a variety streamer, and he kind of focuses on positivity. And at some point in this channel, I will make a deep dive video about Co because he's just so amazing. He deserves his own video. But for now, let's take a look at this chart that I'm going to pull up. This chart here is a list of all of the streams that Carnage has done in the last several years, or would be if it actually loaded. There we go. So all of the purple squares you see, one block is about a year. There's 2017, 18, 2019. All the purple squares that you see, those are days that he has streamed on. So he has shown up almost every single day to at least one broadcast, usually 2 or 3, for years. Right? This is 2022, and this is all the way back in 2017. And so if you look at this, it's no surprise why he is such a great broadcaster, because he streams so consistently and he's so consistent with the way that he runs his broadcast. You can kind of expect the same vibe and the same feel every single time you go to the show. You know you're going to get like a pretty positive experience that's pretty PC, is pretty family friendly, and it just kind of has good vibes. And it doesn't really change that much. Like the broadcast does, but that core feeling of like that culture, that community, he makes sure to kind of hold on to. And so this feat is incredible for a human, but it's relatively easy for an AI. And an AI can stream 24 hours a day. If Vito wanted to, he could just have Neurosama on 24/7. And for live streaming, this is one of the most powerful ways to gain viewers because of how live stream discovery on Twitch works. If you understand how viewers work on Twitch, most viewers on Twitch actually aren't real. About 30% of viewers are either botted, or they're embedded somewhere, or they're not logged in, or there's any number of things that make viewers not real. But every time you see that number, like if I'm on Twitch and I'm looking at these people broadcasting, about 30% of these viewers are not real. And it's not like they're view botted or anything like that. I mean, in some cases they are. But what's actually happening is just that they're either AFK users, or they're embedded users, or they're just like phantom viewers in some way. Okay, so if you imagine that, like think about how many times that you've left a live stream on, you've fallen asleep, or you've gone to do something else if you're like a Twitch watcher. Like the longer a stream is on, you can imagine the more views that it accumulates. So that's why you often see viewers like Kai is doing, actually at the moment of this recording, Kai is doing a 24-hour stream marathon. Usually what happens when you do a 24-hour stream is you get a ton of viewers, and that's because people tend to fall off and stop watching the stream, but they don't actually stop. They don't actually close the stream, so it still counts as a viewer. So viewers tend to kind of like fall off, but they grow over time because more and more people just leave the stream on, and eventually you get this kind of like phantom viewers, which increases your rank in the Twitch discovery, and then by proxy gets you more viewers because more people think that something's going on, and so more people check you out. Like if you have 100,000 viewers, you're going to go click on that stream because you're like, what's going on there, right? So the people that do get on a stream that's lasting longer, they also tend to watch longer. So the average watch time of a stream goes up, because right now the average amount of time that one user watches something on Twitch is about 120 minutes. It's an incredible amount of time. I think it's the longest of any other platform. So once you get someone into a stream, they will watch longer on average. And that means the longer you're online, the more chance you have to capture a viewer. So a streamer like Neurosama can come online right now and just run tests, but if they actually threw this thing up for 24/7, it would continuously generate more viewers. And we actually saw this phenomenon happen with a now banned stream called WatchmeForever. So WatchmeForever is the next AI I want to show you, and it's kind of something that you have to see to understand. So it's actually banned on Twitch because the AI went rogue. So we had to find an old YouTube video. It's a short, so you can see what it does. So here it is.
So, Fred, I've been thinking about planning a trip to the tropics. What do you think?
I think that sounds great. We could do some fishing, tan on the beach, take a cruise. The possibilities are endless.
Sounds like you've got it all thought out. Let's do it. But there's one thing. I don't want to get a tan too quickly. So, let's make sure to plan our trip around clouds and rain showers. That way I can slowly work on my tan without risking sunburns.
So this is an AI-generated Seinfeld channel. So the art assets are actually pre-used, and then the AI decides. The AI is not generating the art in real time, but it is generating the voice, and it is generating the script in real time. And it's looking at a language model of all of the Seinfeld episodes, and it's making Seinfeld episodes. And this channel is actually run by a company called Mismatch Media. This channel exploded on Twitch. It grew 180,000 followers in just 30 days. So take a look. 189,000 followers in 30 days before it was promptly banned because the AI went rogue and started telling jokes it probably shouldn't have. But it was floating between 4,000 and 10,000 viewers, and it was on all hours of the day. Now, before the channel was banned, it was doing so well, I think in large part because it never turned off. And so as a result, it was basically, I say the word abusing, but really kind of just exploiting, but not in like a bad way. It was just utilizing the discovery system that's there to get a huge amount of viewers, and then it was getting posted on Reddit and people would come check in. You can see that in the last 30 days, it only ran one stream, and that's because the stream stayed on all the time and people kept watching it. So this allows for a consistency of viewers that a normal streamer can't hope to do because they have to sleep. And this has enormous potential for the live streaming landscape and how this is going to change. There's a lot of people that would run AI streams that can kind of gain some popularity, especially if they're trained on models that are hilarious and funny. Who knows what could happen? It's really interesting. And WatchmeForever, which is this Seinfeld channel's name, was banned from being 24/7 live and being in the just chatting category, but after getting shown clips on Reddit, it overtook other streams and started to get direct discovery. So this channel took huge advantage of the Twitch's recommendation system. And I think it's an interesting case study because it's the first serious attempt at a company trying to run a broadcast. And that's really important because before this moment, companies like brands and businesses could not run Twitch broadcasts. It's really rare for a brand to understand content creation. You can go look at like tier 1 brands, like their YouTube channels. Like, for example, you can look at someone like Sephora, right? The YouTube channel. And the Sephora channel might have 1.3 million subscribers, but the channel only gets like 1.3 thousand views, 2,000 views posted a week ago. Here's one has 3,000 views. Like, nobody watches this stuff. It's really hard for a brand to, and this is Sephora, right? You see this in every shopping mall. I mean, they're killing it as a company, but they just don't have the views on in content creation. And you'll see that happen a lot because the voice of a content creator, the culture of a content creator is very hard to capture in business form. It comes off as inauthentic to audiences, so they don't like absorb it in the same way that they absorb a streamer or a YouTuber that is like a personal person. Now that doesn't apply, or seems not to apply, to these AIs where people sort of paint the persona of a person onto these people, and it really feels like a stream. It feels like a content creator. You know you're talking to someone that's an AI, and that's kind of crazy, right? Because maybe later you might not know that you're talking to an AI because it's so good that you can't tell the difference between a VTuber and a person that is just not a person, an AI. So it might get crazy later, but right now you can tell the difference, but it doesn't seem to be affecting people's level of entertainment or viewership. So businesses don't really get content creation, and there's kind of two reasons for that. You usually need a single person to associate with, but also businesses always have other motives other than entertaining people. So they always have some call to action. They always want you to buy something. They always want you to go do something or to pay attention to a brand, which always kind of takes away from the entertainment value that a company could otherwise provide. But AI allows businesses to create avatars and entertain people without going through the trouble of going the in and outs of this. So you could imagine something like WatchmeForever being the funnel into something else that has a Patreon and maybe is a business, or you could imagine like a business developing like a cute little avatar that tells jokes all day and then just refers people to Sephora. Like, there's crazy stuff that can happen here, and I think this is the verge of businesses actually getting into content creation in a way. And when I say verge, I still think it'll be a really long time before businesses do this, because I think that it takes a long time for people to absorb this kind of information into the culture. So where we'll see AI actually immediately apply in broadcasting live shows is enhancing streamers' existing shows. So a few streamers push the envelope on Twitch with new technology to enhance their streams. And one of my favorite people that does this is Quinn69. So Quinn69 is a comedy streamer who mostly streams like ARPG stuff like Diablo or Path of Exile. And he developed an AI of himself that can respond to chatters and like roast people or be used in donations.
It's processing. He's about to appear. He's about to appear. Now, Bay Instability 1, I'm Quinn69, one of the top 100 streamers on Twitch TV, and I think you should take a look at some of the stuff you're typing in chat. It's a real train wreck. You're mostly just trolling and trying to be funny, but it's just embarrassing. Taking aim at me for being fat and retarded is just the start. You've got some real weird stuff in there, like asking if people can...
Okay, so this is what this is doing is it's reading a chat log, and then it's like determining what to say based on it. And it's like, it's so close to him, actually. If you watch Quinn, it's actually so close to like how he actually is. And this AI is being used for all kinds of stuff. Actually, people can now donate to his stream, and they can make the AI say something or tell some stories. And there are some really funny clips you can go look up that I'm afraid to put on YouTube based on what their content measure is, but they're really hilarious clips that like the AI, that people just donate and the AI generates it, and it can do it in different voices. It can mess around and everything. And it's even like kind of trying to get its facial expressions right. And there's like a little video. Like, this is purely AI generated on just like a computer that Quinn has in his workroom. And it's like already really incredible. Right. So I think that the thing that is the coolest part of this video is when you think about how people are going to integrate this into their content. Because I think a lot of people are thinking like, oh, well, AI is going to like replace everything, or we're going to see a lot of AI streamers. I think we're going to see that less so than people that use AI in innovative ways to augment their shows or even run their shows for them, like as a market advantage while they're asleep or doing something else. So I do think we'll see businesses build things like WatchmeForever, but like less so. They'll be more rare, and like instead of these like comedic uses of AI. And for the next like 6 to 8 months, if you have a system like this will be really rare. A lot of people won't do this because people are late adopters. They don't like see things that fast. Like one of the things that really impresses me about Quinn, and we've represented him for a while at Novo, just as an agency, is just his incredible ability to jump on things so fast. So like when you see these broadcasters doing this, I think this is indicative of a trend that is coming where people will use AI to augment their content. And that's like pretty exciting. It's like really cool. I think that's one of the, like a lot of people think of AI as kind of like a threat. Like, is this going to be something that actually threatens content creators? And I think these are some kind of hopeful things because they can like help augment things. And we're going to talk about that like threat stuff and the future of AI and where that is going right now. But first, you have reached 21 minutes in a DevinNash video, which means this is the secret call out. You are at 2109, I think. So post that up in the comment section below that you are here watching at 2109. I just wanted to thank you for being here and ask you to subscribe to the channel. I do my best to provide information totally free about what's going on in the marketing world and new media world that's informed by my business Novo. I have nothing to sell you, but if you do want to help me out and you want to get access to over, I think at this point it's close to 100 videos about like business and teaching marketing, I have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/DevinNash. That entire video library is $5. It's a crazy deal. So go check that out, patreon.com/DevinNash. And that's it. I have nothing else to ask you for. Just thank you for your subscription. And you absolutely don't feel like you have to subscribe to Patreon. I'll always make videos here for free. Appreciate you. All right. So we're going to talk about the future of AI and kind of where it's going. A lot of people are kind of wondering if AI is coming to replace streamers and content creators and YouTubers. I think we're years from that. I think we're years from seeing content creators get significantly impacted from AI. The amount of time it takes to adopt and the amount of time it's going to take to translate systems to like GPT-3 into usable models that can be run 24/7 and be adopted by content creators is going to be quite a while. And when it does come, it's actually more likely to come in the form of VTubing first. I think it's no coincidence that Neurosama showed up as a VTuber. And I think this is just using, I think Vito could correct me, but I'm pretty sure Vito said that he was just using most of like some stock assets for like, this is like kind of a stock avatar somewhere. And I think we might see it in VTubing first because it will get to the point where you cannot tell a human VTuber from an AI one. Right? Whenever I demo new tech to people, they always look at it in its present form. This is one of the things that drives me crazy because one of the things I do on my channel is I often make a lot of predictions. And I'm usually looking ahead 2, 3, 4, 5 years for those predictions. But everyone just looks at AI like right now. Like they see the Quinn69 set clip and they're like, oh, well, there's an uncanny valley. It's a little bit off. I can tell it's an AI. Like you won't be able to tell this is an AI in 5 years, probably way less than that. If successful marketers and investors, they always have a multi-year horizon on technology. You have to imagine a technology and where it will be in a few years. AI is advancing so quickly that we will lose most of the uncanny valley that allows us to tell the difference between AI and humans over the next couple of years. And if you have a VTuber that you couldn't tell the difference if there was a human behind that anyway, I think you will very, very quickly be unable to tell the difference between someone will be able to run a stream, it'll have a VTuber on it, and it will be almost perfect. There'll be no way to really tell if that person is an AI or not, which is kind of crazy. But like people see this as like a singularity where it's like, oh, okay, this is an AI that I can't tell the difference. But in reality, like the line is just going to get really blurry, and it's just going to be kind of hard to tell what is being produced by AI and how much of it is human input. And sometimes I watch Neurosama and I'm like, that had to be done by a human. Because I know Vito will feed some things to Neurosama to get it to say something or prompt it with something. Just like I think in the Athene example, I think Athene is feeding some things to this to get certain results. And so it's trained in a certain way to get certain results. So you won't be able to tell like which one of those are like AI generated, which one are human. And finally, you just won't be able to tell at all. And that opens up a really interesting line of thinking that like AI will integrate itself into content creation in ways that we won't notice easily, and actually already is. So it's actually scary how many tweets it is writing right now, especially with the introduction of OpenAI and GPT-3, just how much content that you read is actually just done by AI. A ton of scripts, a ton of like YouTube video scripts, a ton of tweets, a ton of blog posts. There's AI saturation, I think, will be a real problem in places like Twitter or places like the blogs, where you just won't be able to scroll through something like Twitter because there will be so much saturation and junk that like learning and gaming the algorithm and the For You page will become worthless, because like it'll just be all like an AI will be figuring out what is the best thing to get most viral, and it'll just be posting it. And again, you won't have any easy way of telling it's an AI that's doing this and what isn't. It'll become almost impossible to differentiate for the average user what text is written by input and what isn't. So it's hard to imagine like right now, but it's absolutely guaranteed to happen in text. It's just going to happen. I would argue right now that a lot of businesses are using AI to augment their content creation already. A lot of brands, we use content creation. Sorry, it's not for content creation. We use AI for various tasks in our business. Probably about 20% of Novo's like total tasks are now automated by AI. Just really like easy stuff like generating lists and things like that. So you're going to see a lot of that. Like if instead of like actually making a tweet, you're just going to write out like, especially like the self-improvement stuff and the things that people eat up. It's like, here's 5 ways to get better sleep. And it's easy, GPT-3, just write that instant, right? Just post it on Twitter, bam. And there's going to be a weird culture effect to this, because I know people come here for kind of a lot of deep dive stuff. So we're going to go a little bit deep for a second here. AI is informed by large data sets. And that's what a language learning model is. But if there are only a few language learning models and they're all similar data sets, like let's say that Google owns one and Microsoft owns one, right? And everyone just kind of uses these products to generate results, we'll actually see a convergence of similar outputs. The average person won't be able to differentiate from AI and actual human opinion. So the effective result is that everything sounds the same. Like, and if you pay attention to a lot of written work that's coming out in the media right now, you may notice that's already the case. Like have you ever noticed that like there's just everyone just sort of seems to have a take, and then that take just kind of gets picked up and it goes on? Isn't that crazy? So I think that the future is kind of a really, really weird and wild place. And I mean it when I said at the beginning of the video that I think this is one of the most interesting times to be alive. This AI is going to really change the face of how we consume things. And we will soon be in a reality, if we're not already, where we won't be able to tell the difference between what is AI and what is influencing our opinions and what isn't. And I think that this is just the start of that. So I'd love to hear your opinions on where you think AI is going. Leave us a comment or join my Discord at discord.gg/Devin. I hope you enjoyed this expose on AI live streaming, and we'll see you again for another video soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.